Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in if you're new to the channel. If you're a return viewer, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the videos. Appreciate the view time. And if you find the videos useful, please think about tapping that bell for subscription. Really help me out. And if you're a return viewer and subscriber, thank you so very much. Again, closing in very quickly, May 15th through the 19th, Gym Vision Virtual Summit. I'll post a link in the description below, so please check that out. You'll have to register for each event that you would like to attend to, so please check it out. I think the 17th and 18th are really pretty cool, but all of them are good, but I think the 17th and 18th are probably the ones that I'll be attending. So let's go ahead and get started. I had a request to make a heart-shaped ring. But before we do that, I'd just like to talk about heart shapes and how to make heart shapes. There's like I said, there's many different ways. I'm just going to show a few, and then we'll do something like this to get everything going, a little pendant type pave design. But first thing I want to do is show different ways to make heart shapes. The first one, very simple one, is just to grab a gem, right? And then go to your round, and then go scroll down to your heart shapes. Click on heart shape, and then just hit enter, and then you just go and grab a gem offset curve, and then you can just drag that curve however big you want it, and then just hit enter, and then you can just hide the gem if you want to go back and redo it, or if you just want the curve, you can redo it, which that'll break history if you move it like that. You'll have to, if you want to keep history, you'll have to go back and do the editing, and then make it the size you want it, right? So let's go ahead and just work off of this for right now. So we have the heart shape, right? The next thing you'll need to do is go to your curves, just grab a arc direction, and then snap from, let's turn it to red here. I'll just snap from the point there to the point there, and then kind of get the shape that you're kind of looking for, and then something like that. And you'll need to take that and then split it with that red curve, and then hit enter, so you have two different sides, right? And then all you have to really do now is just do a loft from here to here to here, right? And then hit enter, and it should give you a surface, which I don't see one. Let's try that again here real quick. Loft from here to here to here, hit enter, there we go. So you get a surface like this, right? Now, with the loft, you have a lot of options here, and I'm going to go into a little bit of detail here. You can have the normal, right? You can choose loose, which actually changes it, right? To a different flatter type area. But you also have tight, which changes it again. And then you can have a straight section, which, if you wanted a straight section going up like that. And then a uniform, which gives it a little bit more dome on the ends there, right? So that's one way, but not only. After you take it, whatever you want to take, I'll just go ahead and take this one. You can always, let's check this back to here. You can always go in there and grab that curve, turn on your points, and maybe the 3 points, maybe that's not really what you need. So let's grab that curve. Let's rebuild it to let's where it has 5 points. We'll take it to degree 4, and we'll give it 5 points and hit OK. And now we'll turn on those points. So now you can take those points and you can manipulate that curve however you would like to get the shape that you're kind of going for, right? So I mean, it's just well, that one you don't want to probably take that far, but I guess you could. However you want to shape the shape that you want it. The only problem here is that it really doesn't affect this area here too much. You really don't get a lot of coming up, right? So, but that is one way. You can also, you know, just take it and take these and extrude them down. Well, take this, take that, and then extrude it down so that you have a flat surface or something like that, if that's kind of the look you're going for. But like I said, that's just one way to make a heart for different reasons or whatever. Another way is you can take this curve here that you put out there and kind of extrude it over that way a little bit. Take this curve here and extrude it down a little bit. Then you can go to your blend, and you can blend this edge with this edge, and it gives you something here. I got it set at G4, but you could go to Tangency, and then you can manipulate these surfaces however you would like. You could bump it up to curvature and just do other kinds of manipulations, and you can even get in there and do a little bit more. This one, you probably want to take this on this edge here and move it kind of over here, so that it's kind of straight across, right? And then you can do all kind of manipulation if you want a little kind of dome coming up, or you're going down, or whatever you're looking for. You can also change it to a G3. There's all kind of manipulation here that you can work with, right? So let's just take it to Tangency, and we'll just go ahead and hit OK. Now this will break history if you get rid of them, or you can just hide them. Either way, and get rid of it. And then all you have to do is just go to your transform, go to your dynamic, and then it will shift it over to the other side. Hit enter, and then go enter, and then join those together. And then from here, basically just do a cap, right? And now you have a closed surface that you could work off of. All right, so that's another way. All right, so we have this out here, right? And now let's just go ahead and get rid of this one. Now, another way is you have these two separate curves. You split it, right? So you take this one and this one, and you can bump them down just a little bit. And then this time you can go to patch, and let's hide that yellow. And you can click on this surface here, and you can click on this surface here, hit enter. And I have mine, usually I think default is 1, and these are a lot less. I'm going to change this one down to a 30, and we'll take this one to a 30, but that will just, but really this is the main with the stiffness. If I was to take it now, let's preview it. Okay, so it'll give you something like that, right? Not really exactly, oh, that's 39. We don't want 39, we want 30. And then we'll bump this one up to like maybe an 8, and we'll do a preview. So there you go. There's a much, and it's a more puffy heart type shape, right, that you can work with, right? The only issue or things that you have to be concerned about when using patch for this, I mean, patch is really good. It gives you a nice little puffy heart and stuff, but it will not usually conform it strictly to your surface. So you'll have areas of openings, right, like right in there, and then on the other side that you saw. You know, so you'll have some openings that you'll have to be aware of. But you could alter these around, you know, just keep previewing things and see what kind of shape that you're wanting to go to before you finally accept it. And if I was to bump, right now it's still a little off. If I was to bump this up to 40, and then bump this to a 40, and do a preview, that'll close up that a little bit, but you're still not going to get it exactly where you want it, right? So that's something you'll need to be aware of. So let's just go ahead and take this one, and we'll hit OK, and then we'll just get rid of this surface here, and we'll get rid of this surface here. And then with this one, what we're going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of squish it down a little bit, something like that, right? So I got a nice puffy sides going up right here on both all the way around, right? But again, this kind of dips down, right? And then this side kind of well, pinches in right there, and it would have it's not planar right here. So what you'll need to do is, you know, depending on what you're going for, of course, you can just grab a planar curve and drag it out there, and then kind of either drag that up or drag that down, whichever you want, and just kind of like maybe trim just a smidgen of that off. So we'll just go ahead and we'll do a split with this is our cutting object. Hit enter. We'll get rid of this, and then we'll just kind of select that little bottom piece there and delete it. Now we should have a planar surface, right? So you should be able to go ahead and cap it if you want to at this point, right? Like that, right? We'll just go back. Let's turn this to green here. And we're going to take this, and I'm going to hold down Alt and dupe that just a little bit. And then I'm going to go to my transform, go to scale, and go to 3D. And then it's at F4, so F4, and I'm just going to kind of go to this view here and kind of just drag it in a little bit so it's something like that, right? And let's take a look at it. Yeah. Okay. So what I could do here is I could go ahead and cap this one, hit enter, and then I could take this one and cap it and enter, and now I have a too close poly surface, and I want to hollow that out maybe a little bit. So I can take this and then go to solids and Boolean difference with this one here and hit enter, and then that would be my inside of my surface. Then enter again, get rid of that one and get rid of that one, so we just have this surface here, right? And did my yellow's off? Okay, so I have my curves out here. This is my curve on there. So what I can do now is I can take that curve and I can take this curve here, which is a little bit bigger because it's the original. So I'm just going to delete that basically. And then what I'm going to do is go back and do a dupe edge from here, and then it will go all the way around, and then I'll just hit enter. And I will, you don't have to, but the old Matrix people will know what I'm doing. You kind of just drag it to the top. And then, let's see, we can go to our top view, and we can just hold down Shift and kind of drag this in a little bit, something like that, perhaps. You know, and then project that curve onto our surface, dynamic project, so we can always alter it if we want to once it's on the surface. And I already had my curve selected, so I select the objects to project to. That would be this, and then hit enter. And it's kind of hard to see because they post out there in green, so I'll just go ahead and switch to this layer. And I think this is my curve? Where is my curve? Okay, well, I'll hit enter. There we go. First thing you'll need to do is ungroup them. All right, and then this one down here will turn to gray, and just turn that one off. And then I'll select this one, and I'll turn that one to a yellow. And then the red one, it was our original. That's the one that so if I change the red one, the yellow one will update. I don't want to change it right now. Grab that, change that to gray, and hide it too. All right, so let's see what I got here. Yeah. All right, so there's that. Now you can take your, let's grab our surface and let's split with that curve and hit enter. Okay. And so we have that, and now this surface is free, so we can go to our surface offset, and we'll offset that, flip that direction, and we'll just to 0.3 should be okay, and we'll hit enter and enter again. Oh, sorry, only one enter. Okay, and then there's this surface, and we'll need to go ahead and explode that surface, and then take that top surface and switch it to gray. Right, and we don't want to join these back together yet. We'll take this, we'll check our direction, dir, and of course the norms are pointing down because it was the inside of that one surface. So we'll flip those pointing up, and we'll just hit enter. Now we'll take that surface and we will go to gems and Pave gems. All right, and there we go. We're started with our Pave, and you can manipulate this however you like. Let's take it down to maybe a 1 millimeter. Get going on it. See what that looks like. And distance from gem, I got 2. I'll drop that down to maybe maybe 1.5. Distance from border, I have it as 0. Let's go ahead and just negative. No. Let's take it to 0.2. No, let's take it to 0.1. Kind of see what it gives us. And you can play around with these. You can go straight, see what it does. Something like that. Just kind of find out what's the best look that you're going for, I guess. And let's see, maybe distance between gems. Let's take that to 1, see what that does. Okay. So you can play around with it and see what's, the best for you. And then once you find it, let's just say this is fine. And we'll go ahead, let's distance from border. What's a 0.1? Let's take it to a 0.5. Yeah, it doesn't really change much. All right, so there you go. Let's just say we take like that. So we take those. And then you can go to your gem springs. And then select the gems, that'll be these, hit enter, select our surface, that'll be this, hit enter, and now you can add gems, right? And we'll do the U direction here, and 0.9, let's kind of get in there, see if I can squeeze, 1.9 is a little bit too small, 0.7, I don't want, 0.85 maybe, a little bit too big. 0.7, okay, and then just start snapping gems in to fill in these gaps wherever you feel that they'll look the best and be able to fit. Kind of just go around here. And fill in, let's make these a little smaller. 0.55, these are the little small ones. Go in there and just place them where you, a little bit bigger here. 0.8, a little bit too big. Something like that. All right. And can I squeeze one in there maybe? Well, that's too small. 0.75, no. 0.55. Yeah. All right. So however you want to lay it out, and then just finally, when you're done, just hit enter, and then there's your gems. Now you can just take your gems, go to your settings, go to paves, prongs, select your surface. Give it a few seconds, let it load up all the prongs. There's a couple dupes right there you can probably get rid of. Kind of take a look. They're kind of sticking up a little bit, so maybe height above girdle. I can take that down just a little to wherever you like it. And overlapping, I think I'm going to put that just a little bit more. Give me a little bit extra to work with. Take that up to a 3, something like that maybe. Yeah. And once you get it to where you like, you can go ahead and just hit enter, right? And then of course right here you maybe have, you know, a little dupe there going on, so you can ungroup those. And you can just select that one and get rid of it, and then go over to the other side and select that one, get rid of it. And same thing with this one here, and maybe this one here. Just kind of go through and try and find the ones that you want to get rid of. Doesn't really fit too well for your design or whatever. And then you can go in and go to prong on surface. Select our surface, that'll be this surface, and it automatically drops the prong wherever you put it. And you don't want it meshed, you'll want it poly surface. So we'll drop that down to where it's more around the same height as the others. And of course that's way too huge. Taper no, diameter yes, maybe something like this. And you can click on that point and you can adjust where you want it, right? And you really only have to do one side. So let's put one like right in here. Kind of go around, find places where you want to add some prongs. This one definitely needs some. It'll have a little bit more overlap, but that's okay. And you can even just put them in the open there. You don't even actually have to have them on the stone. Just to cover that little space up or whatever. Just add them around. That'll hold that fine. This one here, fill in that space, fill in this space, fill in this space, go ahead and fill in that space, and we'll just go ahead and fill in this space too here. All right, and then just go ahead and hit enter once you get the look that you're going for. And I'm going to take those, except I'm going to hold down control. Well, I'm going to take those, ungroup them, hold down control and grab this one, and then I'm going to regroup them and then go to transform mirror. All right, so now they're on both sides, right? So we got something like this going on. And if you go to shade or plastic mode, you know, it really kind of shows up. And if you go to the render mode, you get, well, hit enter, you got something like this going on. A nice little pave heart-shaped ring pendant. And then all you have to do is put O-ring on there, put a bell, and you've got and go ahead and do your bullion, of course. A nice little pendant going on. I won't sit here and make you suffer through the bullions, but very easy to do, right? I'll just back out of that. But there you go. It's very easy to make, and it's lots of different ways to make the heart, though, right? That's what I'll go through first. Next time we'll go ahead and design a ring, but there is some other things that I'd like to get to too. But definitely making the heart is probably the most important part. So hopefully the video was helpful and useful in your designing process. And if it is, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the video. Thanks for watching. Good designing.